Hello, I'm going to answer some questions and they are all concerning sexual harassment. I want to cover some of the basics. For example, a lot of people don't actually know what constitutes as sexual harassment. To be honest, I wasn't really sure until I did a load of research. By the end of this video, you'll hopefully have a much better understanding of sexual harassment, what it is, how it is different to sexual assault, how to report it, the consequences survivors struggle with, and where sexual consent comes in. By the way, I am British, so all this information that I'm going to be giving out is based on British laws and definitions of sexual harassment. What is sexual harassment? Unwanted sexual behaviour. This behaviour may make someone feel intimidated or distressed. Many of the definitions that I found spoke about violating someone's dignity. There is so much emphasis on how the unwanted sexual behaviour has made the victim feel. This is key, actually, in determining whether it is harassment, sexual harassment in court. Additionally, it doesn't matter who is subject to this unwanted sexual behaviour. They may be bisexual, gay, trans. It can still be considered sexual harassment. What constitutes as sexual harassment? Unwelcome advances, touching somebody in a sexual way, showing someone inappropriate sexual images or videos, moving up against someone purposefully in a sexual manner, written words of a sexual nature, degrading sexual comments. Oh, it must be your time of the month. Ladies, I'm sure you've heard that many times before, but I'm sure you didn't actually know that that can be considered harassment connected to sex. Offering rewards in return for sexual favours can be considered sexual harassment, as can staring or leering at somebody. But yeah, the list goes on and on. You can have a look online for yourselves. How do people go about reporting sexual harassment? Well, if you're in any immediate danger, call the police. In the UK, that's 999. If you want to report after an incident, you can call or contact victim support. If the harassment was at your place of work, you can contact your manager or a trade union. Oh yeah, if possible, try and make note of the time and date of the harassment. This is important if you plan on reporting it. What about consent? So, in doing a load of research, I have learned that consent is it's a grey area. So I don't want to say much because I don't want to get it wrong, and I'm not 100% clear on everything. But one thing that is clear, and I think it's really important that everyone knows, particularly young people, particularly people at university actually, uni students, if an individual can be considered drunk enough, their consent does not count. So if someone is incapacitated, I hope I'm saying that right, maybe they're falling all over the show, or they aren't speaking clearly, they can be classed legally as too drunk to consent. I wasn't aware of this. I don't know if this was just me and loads of other people are actually aware and I'm just being a bit... Anyway, I think it's especially important for women going to university to know this bit of information. Drinking and drug taking can make sexual consent extremely complicated. What is the difference between sexual assault and sexual harassment? So it can get a bit confusing, but from what I can see, correct me if I'm wrong, I'm by no means an expert. Sexual harassment is more of a generic term. It covers more. As I explained earlier, it can refer to unwanted sexual comments, written or verbal, as well as unwanted touching of a sexual nature. Sexual assault is more specific. It usually refers to physical forms of sexual violence. An example, non-consensual penetration of someone's vagina or anus. Rape is a form of sexual assault. I found this written on the UK Met Police website. Not all cases of sexual assault involve violence, cause physical injury or leave visible marks. Sexual assault can cause severe distress, emotional harm and injuries which can't be seen, all of which can take a long time to recover from. This is why we use the term assault and treat reports just as seriously as those of violent and physical attacks. What are the consequences of sexual harassment? In light of the conversations being had at the moment and the focus being on violence against women, I'm going to focus on the consequences that women face. There are many consequences and it does depend on the situation and the individual involved. Women can end up feeling unsafe and therefore abandon work opportunities and educational opportunities. Women may alter the way they present themselves in public. They may feel the need to dress differently, which leads me on to women may blame themselves. They may feel shame and guilt. Women may have no faith in the legal system supporting them. This means they may not seek the help that they desperately need in the anticipation of not being afforded it in the first place. Women may change the way they get to places and how they behave in these certain public areas. To be honest, the fear of sexual harassment itself is so common in every woman that I think this is something that happens already. Violence against women is a global issue. It sees women having significantly less power in the three spheres of society: the social sphere, the economic sphere, and the political sphere. Hence, women's rights are frequently ignored and abused. I consider myself a feminist because I think women's rights should be respected, and clearly this is not happening. Anyway, I hope this was helpful. I post every Wednesday and every Friday about feminism, veganism, it's a female empowering, animal empowering space. People empowering. If you are a survivor of sexual harassment or assault and you are struggling, perhaps you just need someone to talk to. I will leave a few links in the description that may help you. All my love.